Last week, Bonnie Blue was banned officially from the OnlyFans platform following her plan to perform a petting zoo stunt in a glass box. I know nothing more of the context than that, but this might be something she discussed on a new podcast with Andrew Tate. This is the worst collab to ever happen in internet history. But I feel like it weirdly makes sense
I
because
thought this photo was AI. I really did.
I did too at first. The OnlyFans woman, like, she is basically like the archetype of the OnlyFans woman. She's like a titan of this specific creature. And then the red pill man, they have a lot more in common than it appears. And then Andrew Tate said, Bonnie Blue is the end result of feminism. She is what the Matrix wanted to create. And I guess that is why he decided to interview her.
He said they have more in common. He's like, hey, you look like I'd have turned you out 10 years ago. She's like, hey, you look like you would have turned me out 10 years ago.
So the episode isn't out yet, but another thing I hope they discuss is the ongoing transvestigation of Bonnie Blue. Many people have posited the theory that Bonnie Blue is actually secretly a man in a past life.
And I have proof. I've seen at least one other.
TikTok is the worst desktop app. Like, it automatically starts playing.
Yeah. This was actually predicted by an ex-user earlier in May, saying Bonnie Blue is actually a trans woman. There's going to be thousands of men trying to delete themselves once they realize this, that they were hoodwinked.
This there's something hilarious about this guy, where this is like the most low effort thing I've ever seen, but the guy's got this like captivatingly boring delivery.
Yeah. But here you see the side by side of Bonnie Blue face swapped as a man with the Bonnie Blue we know today.
Here we go.
Oh my God, no fucking way. So there's now speculation that Bonnie Blue was actually a man, someone called Carl Butler, and born in 1985.
Wow. So this
I'm not sure
like
if this
Ricky
is
Gervais.
real, but it's going viral. Kyle Butler had to change when he was 13 and then became Bonnie Blue. Bonnie Blue. And all them men that enjoyed Kyle Butler, eh? Kyle Butler. Damn. You've not seen this. You've not read this story. It's fucking everywhere.
Okay.
Everywhere.
So this originated from a false Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
It says, Kyle Butler, born May 1985, known professionally as Bonnie Blue, is an English pornographic actress and OnlyFans creator. After diversifying into producing content with students and married men, she made several appearances on podcasts in 2024. A subsequent appearance on This Morning prompted 188 complaints to Ofcom. She was later banned from Australia and Fiji for working without an appropriate visa. An advert featuring her and involving the online casino Stake later prompted that firm to exit the UK market.
Why doesn't she just come back to America, where we just let people in? We're like, oh, you don't have the proper visa? We don't care.
Here's the kicker, though. In January 2025, Bonnie Blue claimed to have had sex with 1,057 men in one day. And she has spoken about her sex change at 13 briefly in a small podcast in 2022, which was later taken down by Bonnie Blue's requests.
So it's not real.
Not that I've been able to find out. I haven't been able to find this mysterious podcast where she admitted to getting a sex change in 2022 at the age of 13. I have no idea if there's any evidence beyond that. But here's the thing. Videos and high quality pictures of her wherever are all over the internet. So it would be pretty hard to convince people otherwise.
I think Andrew Tate's going to get to the bottom of it. Also, what's hilarious...
True investigative journalism.
Yeah.
We have another 20 before you get into that. Jose Quintana said, Happy Wednesday. I finally received my Save the Gongo coffee mug. I will use it at work to spread the message of the Gonganese. I'm committed to their rescue. My t-shirt is on the way. Save the Gongo. Long live PCC. You're doing God's work.
We need to get Alex Soros involved now that he's married. Maybe he can contribute.
What I was saying is, like, it's hilarious how in the U.S. we have this, bombshell podcast with Ted Cruz and Tucker Carlson, the whole nation's watching. We're on the brink of a potential escalation with Iran. And then
World War III.
So all eyes are on this interview. Like, what's he going to say? Da, da, da. And then you go to the UK, and this is kind of their equivalent.
Right.
Of Andrew Tate sitting down with Bonnie Blue. I mean, this is kind of the equivalent of important figures that could have a real effect on the United Kingdom. And so,
what do people care about in the UK?
Well, it's such a small country. Yeah. They have such a small population compared to ours, and we forget that. It's so much easier to become like a locally hated celebrity there.
That was like the number one thing. It was the biggest IQ test during COVID was like if you talked, like you were on Facebook and there was some meme posting a graphic about like how many people have died in each country. Like how many people have died in America? And you're like, you do know that we have like 9,000 times more people here than in Italy.
I know like Italy, they're like, we're gonna send some support over to Israel, and they send like a fire truck.
Yeah,
like, that's our whole military.
So I personally don't buy the theory that Bonnie Blue is biologically male and went through a sex change. I don't believe that, but I can say with confidence that Bonnie Blue is lying about much else other than her biological sex, including her age. A lot of people have pointed out she does not look like she is 25. She looks like she's a rough 35 at best.
Yeah.
And it's not just, the fact that women in the UK use a lot of self-tan and makeup. It's more than that. People looked into her LinkedIn page and her career before she was on OnlyFans. And I believe this does prove that she is lying about being 25. I don't believe it for a second.
So we're going to watch this TikTok?
Yep.
Which we then have to click onto very specifically so it doesn't start ahead of time.
Bonnie Blue is not 25, and I have proof. I've seen at least one other creator on here say that they have had some of Bonnie Blue's old high school classmates reach out and confirm that she's 25, 26. But there's no way that's true. Bonnie Blue's name has recently become leaked, and it's Tia Bellinger. So here we have her LinkedIn. You can see her picture right here. And here we see her work history. The first job listed was started in May 2016. If my calculations are correct, she would have been about 16, 17 during that time period. Some people get jobs as teenagers. That's normal. But let's look at the job title here and the job description.
Getting a consultant gig at 17 is very impressive.
It is.
A consultant. A consultant is an expert that a company hires to tell them what's up, tell them what to do. I don't know about you, but I've never heard of a company hiring a teenager to be a financial consultant. I think it's safe to assume she even has like a bachelor's degree.
Okay. As far as I'm concerned, that's the nail in the coffin.
Okay.
Like, there's no way that you were hired to be a financial consultant at 16 years old. I'm sorry, I just don't believe it.
With all this mystery in her past, I mean, if it's true that she's trans, I do have to say that kind of alludes, because she is the goat of OnlyFans, it does allude to the point that men just do it better.
She lies about everything.
We're even taking over OnlyFans. That's just how we do it.
She lies about everything. She lies about her stunts.
She's English, so she might just look like that.
She pretended to get arrested last week. Yeah. Like, why would we believe her about anything else she says about her personal life? She's a genius marketer. Or history?
Well, no, the thing is, like,
let alone her
job.
Age.
Her job isn't to try and fool you. Her job is to try and fool people who are only paying partial attention, which is most people.
Well, like, people subscribed.
You go into these types of things not expecting to fool the people who are doing deep dives and reporting on this. Your whole job is to make ridiculous circus-level headlines that somebody will read in passing while they're on their break at work and be like, well, that was disturbing. And it kind of just sits in the back of their brain somewhere.
Mm-hmm. I also did some digging about her previous marriage because there's very little known about her personal life and what she was doing with her life before OnlyFans. It's like she just popped out of nowhere one day. So Tia Bellinger, her real name, married Ollie Davidson back in February 2022, about a year before she signed up to OnlyFans. The couple reportedly separated a while back and are in the middle of getting divorced, but are still legally married. They say Ollie Davidson is a 27-year-old privately educated rugby player from Derbyshire and the son of a wealthy businessman, and she allegedly started dating him when she was 13. But if you look back at photos of them, she does not look 13 at all.
Okay.
She looks 25 in those photos, at the very least. And she's talked about, you know, her previous marriage, what happened that caused them to split up. And some people say, no, she says they're on great terms and he's supportive. They said that he was involved in her OnlyFans business for a while before they split up and was actually supporting her, managing her. But other people say that he's actually split up with her because of OnlyFans, and that was the reason cited for their divorce, especially after the stunt with like over 1,000 men.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying that he was furious when he found out about it, and that, you know, it's just shocking, and all of his friends feel sorry for him, which I imagine is true. But anything Bonnie Blue says about her estranged husband, I'm not going to believe it, because we already know she's lying about at least one thing.
Yeah.
I don't believe she's trans. I think that's a little far-fetched, and I didn't see any evidence for that. But she's most definitely lying about being 25. There is no way in hell that woman is 25 years old.
It would be 25 the hard way if it was.
Absolutely
and very,
not.
very, very hard.
They age very badly in the UK. We know this. But 25, she's saying she was born in the year 2000. I was born in the year 2000. I just, no, I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a
I'm not
second.
buying
Like,
it.
what do you think? Am I crazy? Am I like acting like a conspiracy theorist right now?
They do age poorly when they use all the self tanner and and their hair gets fried.
But
by that age,
it'll catch up to you
yeah,
like
eventually.
later than 25.
I like the description that somebody said. They're like, people don't age incrementally. What happens is you look the same age forever, and then you age 5 years all at once every 5 years. Where it's like you look like when you're 30 and you look like you're 25. You look that way until you hit 35, and then suddenly you look 30, and then you look 35, depending on how that works. So maybe it all caught up with her at once.
The LinkedIn proves it for me.
Yeah.
That's the confirmation I needed. I mean, we all knew that she was lying about her age, but that is kind of irrefutable.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.